You ready? You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, gays and gays. This is the Real Pineapple. This is your humble host, Hunter, here. Hope you're safe. I hope you're well. I've got a review for a shockingly dark comedy in Arizona, which is directed by Jonathan Watson and written by Luke Del Tradici, is what I'm going to go with. And it stars Danny McBride, Rosemarie DeWitt, and then Loli Sorensen. So Jonathan Watson has worked with Dan McBride before. He ended up going on, he ended up doing Vice Principals. He was a producer on that for the show's whole run. He was a producer on Future Man, that Josh Hutchinson's show. He directed a couple episodes of Preacher. So he's got a very prominent TV career for himself. And then Luke Del Tradici, he was a producer on Brooklyn Nine-Nine for I think its whole run, 151 episodes. Goddamn. He was a producer and showrunner on that Craig Robinson show, Killing It. That's on Peacock. Fun watch, by the way. He was also a producer on Bored to Death and on 34 episodes of 30 Rock. So, yeah, a hell of a TV career between both of these people here. So, the plot as it is presented here, movies based in around the 2009 housing crisis, and Danny McBride has basically bought one of these houses that he was sold a bit of a bill of goods on, just like, oh, this is a totally great investment, and this is a booming community, but it's in Arizona where it's a tad hot. It's a tad hot in Arizona. But then, of course, you had the housing market crash that happened in the mid to late 2000s. And so McBride's character just fucking snaps. His character, Sonny. You, of course, know Danny McBride from Righteous Gemstones, Foot Fist Way, Tropic Thunder, Pineapple Express. This is the End. Yeah, fucking love Danny McBride. And we all know that he's great at playing really fucked up, dark characters. I think my biggest surprise, like my biggest pleasantry in terms of surprises with this movie, is how normal Sonny seems at first. Like, he definitely seems eccentric, and the argument that he gets into, you're like, oh wow, this is really fucking intense. But the moment that this thing occurs, you realize, oh shit, that's bad. Like, this is not there's only one way this can really go. So Sonny ends up doing something quite bad. He ends up killing the guy who sold him the house, who's played by Seth Rogen. I can't remember what Rogen's character's name is in here. They actually don't have it listed on IMDb, which is wild. But this really is a bad day movie, and I would be curious. I'm assuming this is the case, but Luke Del Tradici, it definitely seems. I mean, Fargo's a no duh, but in terms of McBride's performance, this really turns almost like into Dan Stevens from The Guest. Like, McBride becomes horrifying in this movie. The fact he committed a murder is bad enough. The very unfortunate bit for him is that there is a witness who is played by Rosemarie DeWitt, who you know from Rachel Getting Married, La La Land, Poltergeist, Your Sister's Sister, just to name a few. She was recently in Smile 2, which I've heard great stuff about the Smile movies, but yeah, sorry y'all, I'm not watching those. But Cassie witnesses the murder, and Sonny basically pulls the whole, like, well, like, he was being a dick. Like, come on, like, Like you're not going to tell anyone about this, right? And there is this point so early on that I went, girl, you gotta get out of here. And the, it's funny. I was telling my partner how I was laughing because this really is like the episode of SpongeBob where he gets Mermaid Man's the belt, and it's just starts shrinking all bikini bottom. That basically is this movie because there is this point where things are bad. Sonny killed someone. That is obviously not ideal. But the way that shit continues to snowball and the complications pile up, and you're just sitting there watching this going, dude, what the fuck are you doing, you fucking idiot? Like, there is this point where you realize there is no point there's a point of no return. Like, he's just fucked no matter what angle you go ahead and approach this from. And what I really dug early on is the cat and mouse game that Cassie and Sunny are kind of playing. Because early on in the film, it feels like Sunny is gone, but not too far gone. Like maybe there's a way that he could potentially turn himself in because he does think he's still a good person. But there is this point where shit goes so sideways that even Sunny has to acknowledge how far gone he is and how fucked he really is. I really what's her name? Loli Sorensen, who plays Cassie's daughter Morgan. Um, you know her from you know her really from this movie, Henry Danger. She was in Parks and Rec. Um, she it looks like she's back acting. She just did a short. I would like to see her in more kind of dark comedy stuff like this because there is this great scene where Sunny shows up at Cassie's house, and her and McBride have this really fun back and forth that I was like, okay, girl. And I know she was obviously, this been like 8 years ago, but you definitely saw some acting chops from her in that scene and really throughout the film as things ramp up to their conclusion. Um, Luke Wilson is in this playing Cassie's ex, Scott, and his new girlfriend, or I don't remember if they say if that's his wife or if that's his girlfriend. I think it's just his partner, but Kelsey, who's played by Elizabeth Gillies. Um, their chemistry is very interesting because you could definitely just see how this is pretty much a relationship that has an expiration date, and how maybe even Scott realizes that, is kind of trying to maybe kind of put out a heat check there in terms of Cassie of, hey, maybe we could, maybe we could work this out. And Cassie is very much not feeling that. Um, I was very happy to see Sweet D Reynolds, aka Caitlin Olsen, in this. Um, she's not in the movie for a ton of time, but she definitely maximizes her minutes. The real big draw of this is seeing Danny McBride really descend into madness, but this film really does become more dramatic in terms of its beats, in terms of its rhythm, as a lot of these McBride properties go. I know McBride obviously is a brilliant comedian, but I don't think he is given nearly the amount of credit he deserves in terms of being able to find these projects that have these crime elements to them, and it never feels like it betrays what's been set up before. It feels like it works so well in conjunction with the comedy that they've already established. It's so fascinating how they go ahead and they make that work. I really dug that, especially here. Um, in terms of complaints, Cassie and Morgan, they have the classic kind of, we're we're mother and daughter. One of us is a teenager, but we don't see eye to eye. Like it is cliche on that front, and I do wish there was a little more background in terms of kind of what happened with Scott and Cassie, because they seem applicable enough. They seem like they seem cordial enough, but he fucked around, but it definitely feels like that wasn't just it. Like he says that was it, and I will say there was this point where he's talking to his current partner, and he even admits that he fucked up. And I do appreciate someone being able to own their shit. So his character's awareness in that moment, I was like, okay, I like this. But I would have liked a little more background between Cassie and Scott. Morgan definitely seems like she's a daddy's girl in the way that she kind of reacts to certain things involving Scott. Some exploration there would have been nice, but as it stands, this is a flick that I really enjoyed. I think there's some great moments of tension, especially in the third act. I'm always happy to see David Alan Grier. He gets a fun little bit in this movie here. But yeah, I really enjoyed myself. This is also like a lean, like it's just under 90 minutes. 85 minutes, pardon me. So it's a quick watch, but it's a fun watch. I would go solid B- on this for Arizona. This is definitely something I would show a friend and be like, hey, like you like Dan McBride, you like kind of dark, dark, kind of crime drama type stuff. Let's check this out. Yeah, but I watched this, like I said, I watched this with Leia and we both really enjoyed it. So yeah, a solid B- for Arizona. But everyone, thank you so much for listening. I'll have more reviews coming down the pipeline soon for y'all. Go ahead and follow me on socials. I will put that in the link description. You can go ahead and follow the show on BlueSky. You can follow me at reelpineapple.bsky.social. Follow me on Instagram and Threads at jhunterreelpineapple. That's jhunter and then REEL pineapple. Follow the show pretty much wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you go and rate us 5 stars. It definitely helps the show out. Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, to name just a few. You can follow the show on YouTube as well at youtube.com/therealpineapple. Everyone, thank you so much for listening. Stay safe. Take care of each other. Give someone a hug. Give someone a compliment. We can all use some more positivity. And never forget, as always,